Yeah, g'day, Will Holt, Bendigo Sheep and Lamb Market Report for the 11th of August 2025. Today at Bendigo Agents charted about 9,000 lambs and 8,500 sheep in a market that was cheaper across the board. Get underway in the lamb jobby today, topped out at $466 for a pound of lambs that we haven't seen as good at Bendigo for a little bit of time. They're 41 or 2 kilos, that sort of makes them 11, 20 or 30. I think majority of your heavy lambs are in that sort of mid $11 range, you know, 11, 20 to 11.60 or 70 for the majority of it. Get back into your trade lambs. They're still the highlight, but we did see a bit of supermarket resistance there today where they've sort of been out to 360. They're more like topping out at sort of 340. I think a lot of your trade lambs are sort of 11.80 to 12.50, but there sort of would be a lot more of those sales just around that $12 a kilo mark where we have sort of seen them in excess of $13 in the last couple of weeks. Suckers, was a few good pens of suckers, sort of 24 or 5 kilos there today, out to $285. I just think they're $12 for a lot of them if they are fit for the supermarkets. Merino lambs, very few of them to quote on. Of the odd pen there that was handy enough, sort of, yeah, 10.50, 10.80, but there's no real weight in them. They're only early 20 kilo sort of territory, but there was a few gaps in sort of the secondary lambs here today. A few really wintry types of lambs would be either side of $10. There'd be lambs there making 9, sort of 60 or 80 in the very odd isolated sale. Sheep, we've seen an extreme sheep sale here today, last week. You'd probably quote it at 40 or 50 cheaper, especially on the heavy end, but it is still very solid. Out to $327 for one sale. There's a couple of sales around that $300 a head mark for crossbred ewes. I think a lot of your heavy sheep are sort of 245 to 265 would cover a fair portion of that. In your next bracket of sheep, sort of 180 to 210 or 20 for a lot of your good tradier sheep and work back there. We did see a few sales sub $100 here again today, but I think cents a kilo basis, you could throw a blanket over all your sheep being sort of 7 to 8. Look, there wouldn't be many sales hitting $8, and there would be the odd sale sort of 6.80 on your lighter end, but as a general rule of thumb, $7 to $8 would cover your mutton job, and you know, some real good rams with a big skin out to sort of $210, but a lot of your rams sort of 160 to 180. So all in all, it's still a pretty positive day here at Bendigo, but it could be time to get a bit proactive. So if you're thinking about the next couple of months, give one of us a bell and we'll talk you through the next couple of months. Anyway, we'll catch up there next week when McKean McGregor will be first out. Thanks.